Religion has caused arguments and conflicts between different groups and countries. This is because of different people's beliefs and people wanting to fight for them to spread their beliefs. For example, the Chinese communists not approving of Tibetan Buddhism. Communist China's anti-religion policy caused the Chinese government to destroy monasteries and to forcibly remove the Dalai Lama and nearly 100,000 other Buddhist Tibetans.
Tibet and China, two countries that have been at opposites for over 5 decades. Communist China has been trying to take over parts of Tibet and make them part of their own. Communist China started their invasion in 1949. The PLA entered China in October of 1950 and started to clash with the Tibetan resistance.
However, there was a new leader entering Tibet, His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso. The Buddhist religious leader was only 15 years of age when he became the Buddhist spiritual leader. The Dalai Lama had to deal with the Chinese military, slowly approaching and trying to conquer most of Tibet. As part of Communist China's rules and regulations, people are not allowed to practice their own religion. Tibet was the home of Buddhism and the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhism.
The PLA started to seize the crops of the Tibetans and seize their land. The Tibetans grew tired of this and started creating a larger resistance forces. At their largest, there were over 80,000 Tibetans in the force. The Dalai Lama tried to calm down the resistance by telling them violence was not the answer to solving the problem. No violence, please. Nope.
The resistance would not listen and would continue the violence and clashing.
On March 9, 1959, the Dalai Lama was summoned to the PLA barracks alone. The next day, over 300,000 Tibetans filled the streets around the Dalai Lama's palace.
The Dalai Lama attempted to convince the protesters that there was another solution to the Chinese issue. The PLA launched an offensive mortar striking the Grand Lasha Palace.
Fearing for their lives, the Dalai Lama and his council fled Tibet, passing through the Himalayas into India.
The now exiled Dalai Lama established a community and settled in Dharamsala, Punjab, India.
Over the course of the next few decades, many Tibetan people were exiled and killed by the PLA. The PLA also destroyed many Buddhist monasteries to eliminate the religion from the country completely.
The Dalai Lama won the Nobel Peace Prize in December of 1989 for resisting the use of violence against China. The Dalai Lama has made claims against the Chinese government that they have committed genocide against the people of Tibet.
Now, the situation between Tibet and China has not improved in the slightest. Recently, in preparation of the new year, Tibet has been celebrating.
In response, China increased the number of stationed troops in Tibet. According to an anonymous Tibetan resident,
checkpoints have been set up along the roads at a distance of every 4 or 5 Tibetan houses, and police are checking everyone's identification papers.
The Dalai Lama has made a point in using nonviolence as a solution to political issues, becoming an influential leader of peace. The situation has not improved between the two countries and probably will not in the future.